Alright, y'all, it's time for the two for Queen Sugar, you guys. Okay, so if we remember, Hollywood came back. He did not die on the oil rig, y'all, so we was very happy to see him. At first, he was supposed to go back and get back on the oil rig, but he decided to stay home with Aunt Vi. In his staying home, he got bored after he fixed everything around the house and decided to help her cook some pies that somebody asked for her to make. And when she started to cook the pies and get into it, she decided that she would love to make that her business. This next episode, she decided to take her pies around to a few stores, and the first one she went to, the lady knocked her down and said, look, I can't take on any more expenditures, and maybe if you get somebody else to sell your pies first, you can come back here and we can talk again. Okay, so she felt very down about it, and Hollywood assured her that he believes in it so much for her, so he got her back no matter what, and they're gonna make it work. So they go to this black guy's store, and his AC isn't working. He's sweating his ass off, and he is not trying to hear anything she has to say. But because Hollywood can fix anything, he says, I'll go fix your AC while you listen to what this pretty lady has to say. He tastes the pies, and it seems to be a winner. So Aunt Vi might really kick off with having her own pie line like Patti LaBelle, bitch. So we know that Charlie has decided to open up her mill. And in order to get all of the black farmers on her side, she needs to make her residence where the farms are, where everybody else is living, so she could be living with her people. So she takes Remy's advice and decides to turn one of the spaces in the mill as her new apartment. And she's really trying to turn that place into home. At the same time, she's stressing over how Micah is doing and how he's dealing. She tries to get him to go to a therapist this episode, but he decides to go with Nova to do some house building with Habitat for Humanity. When he's there, Charlie decides to go through the motions of talking to the therapist, and we kind of come to the conclusion that she was raised by her mother to be a perfectionist, and even though she might not be trying to raise Micah like that, she might be raising him like that inadvertently. Okay, so it's something for her to think about as well. Last episode, Blue was playing and ran up on Micah, and Micah was still like, you know, reeling from what happened with the police. So he like kind of jumped back and knocked Blue down, okay? And Charlie runs to hold Blue while he's crying, and then Ralph Angel comes and snatches him up, and it's like, boy, you better get your shit together, fucking, you know, fucking with my son like that. And Charlie's like, let him go, you know, in this whole moment or whatever, where, you know, we just see this anger, and it's something that Micah is going to have to deal with. That fear, that feeling at somebody else's mercy makes you feel so powerless. And on the top of that, he was feeling jumpy. So it was just a fucked up situation. Charlie tells Ralph Angel that he should understand what her son is going through. And he says, man, look, I know what you're trying to say, but at the end of the day, that's y'all fault that y'all raised him to be soft like that and think that he was above what the world will do to a black man. I'm a little two-sided on this, because I do feel like we should always raise our kids the best that we possibly can to be proud of who they are. But at the same time, if my child ain't gotta know struggle, I don't want them to have to know that shit, okay? Okay, like what the fuck? But I still agree, raising them too fucking soft. So they had some white flies on the cane, so they had to spray the cane, and they sprayed it and it worked, but they needed to go out there and individually clean all the plants. So Ralph Angel calls Darla for help, but she can't get off work. She leaves work anyway, shows up to help, and ends up getting fired from her job. So this episode, she goes to Charlie and asks her to help her to try to find a job. Charlie tries to like throw her off on, you know, once you ask your parents, they got you all of these other jobs. And Darla wasn't feeling it, and she already didn't want to ask Charlie, so she just runs out and tells her don't worry about it. She goes and has a meeting with her sponsor, and she expresses to her sponsor something that she doesn't seem to be able to really tell Ralph Angel, which is that it makes her mad when people try to take care of her, because Ralph Angel asked her to move in with him after she lost her job, and she's like, I don't want to do that. I want to take care of myself first. And I'm like, I don't understand why he does not understand how important that is for somebody who was on drugs for so long to be able to take care of themselves and be stable on their own before they put themselves in a relationship of that magnitude. But it's kind of too late, because they in love and they got a son. So it's kind of like, bitch, you better work this shit out, okay? Because at the end of the day, y'all is a family, bitch, okay? Y'all is already a family. Last episode, because Ralph Angel was really not feeling Charlie, he showed Aunt Vi the letter that his daddy left him. And he wants to tell Charlie, but Aunt Vi tells him that that ain't what he want to do. Okay, and I don't think that's what he want to do either. Even though he wants to have the ownership all on his own, and now that she owns the mill, it doesn't even matter because they can still help each other and both own their own businesses. I still feel like it's best to have Charlie on your side. Not even just that it brings y'all family together, but she's such a smart person to have as a part of your business. But I do understand Ralph Angel's need to have some type of separation from them and have his own shit that he don't have to ask nobody permission, you know, to do anything with, especially when it came to doing the soybeans and shit that he wanted to do, and she didn't want to let him do that. But eventually, like I said, I think I talked about it last review, that she helped him, you know, go ahead and get the loan so he could do whatever he wanted to do with the soybeans, and he didn't have to ask her for any money for any of the things that he wanted to do on the farm. At some point, Ralph does talk to Micah and tell him that he understands and to stay strong, and, you know, tells him that he needs to apologize to Blue. So he does go and apologize to Blue and lets him know that he's sorry. And it's just, it was him, it wasn't Blue. Because Blue was like, you know, I'm sorry that I, you know, played in your stuff without asking you first. He was like, oh, man, it's not like that. Like, it was so cute. Little boy. That little boy is so cute, y'all. So, y'all, look, let's go back. Okay, so I told y'all Micah was helping for Habitat for Humanity. And Dr. Dubois is there. Dr. Dubois is this guy that Nova met at this conference that she went to out of town. I think I talked about that last episode, so they've kind of been seeing each other. He's really smart. He's a really nice guy. And it's like the first time she's had some fire, you know, that lasted longer than 2 hours for somebody. So Dr. Dubois is really looking up. Okay, and another thing was that he knew who Davis West was. Apparently they played each other in college basketball. When Davis came to pick up Micah from the Habitat for Humanity, he saw this lady named Miss Judith who was speaking to the news cameras. And y'all, that's so unrealistic. None of us news people have booms. Okay, booms are those mics that they hold up with the fur on the with the fur cover on the end. No news crew has that shit. Nobody's holding that shit. Like, it's so unrealistic. I have done tons of events for Habitat for Humanity. Okay, I'm telling y'all from my personal experience. Okay, I actually just went to one in the East not too long ago because there was a tornado that happened. What that was last month or the month before last, y'all. So much shit happens, I can't keep track. But a tornado hit down here in New Orleans East, and not even just last month, that was months ago. Y'all, my best friend lost her house. Like, a lot of people lost their houses and had damage. So Habitat for Humanity was helping rebuild houses in the East. It was a woman who had kids, and like the whole thing with Habitat for Humanity is a really great project because you have to get a certain amount of hours helping other people to build their homes, so you become more knowledgeable when it's time to build your home. When you get in your house, you know how to fix things. Habitat for Humanity does really awesome shit. I'm sorry I had to get into that, but I'm just saying. So Miss Judith is this really pretty chick. I forgot what else I've seen her on, but I've seen her on other stuff. So it seems like Davis might have a new love interest in somebody that's, you know, she was giving him the why you stealing my TV time but you fine look. You know what I'm saying? Like attitude, but at the same time, like it was cute. Something's gonna happen there. Micah spent some time with his dad. They played ball, and for every ball that went through the hoop, a question had to be answered by either one of them, and they really went into it. You know, he wanted to know if his father was a sex addict, and he was like, no, but something's just wrong with me. He was like, I spent a lot of time with people saying yes to me no matter what. I always got what I wanted, and I got used to that, but I'm trying to be a different person. And, you know, Micah talks about how scared he was about what happened with the police and getting arrested, and how it was very hard for him to deal with it. He's still dealing with it. But his daddy tells him, you know, fucked up situations come to us, and it's a rite of passage for you to understand what it is to be at the mercy of somebody else, to actually have fear for the first time in your life. But it's really on you how you use that to make yourself better. That conversation helped him, for real, because Charlie was having a really hard time with moving into the mill and trying to make it feel like home. And she was mad because he missed that the therapy session, so she called Nova going off on her while she was having a date with Dr. Dubois, and it resulted in her going over to Charlie's house and lighting some candles and throwing some sage and eating food and just telling her that, you know, this place is going to feel more like home after I leave. You know, she do her little witch shit. I love it. I wish they would really delve deeper into whatever her practice is and what she does, because it's kind of known that their mom was like, you know, a sensitive. I'm talking about Ralph Angel and Nova's mom, because they have the same mom, and that's a different mom from Charlie's mom. Anyway, y'all, when Dr. DuBois and Nova were on their date, they did go walk further into the Ninth Ward, and there was a sign saying shame on you to people who do bus tours. One of the first Habitat for Humanities I did was in the Ninth Ward, and somebody told me that they do that. I don't live in the Ninth Ward. I don't live close to the Ninth Ward, and ever since after Katrina, I don't really go there often unless I'm doing something for work. I did the Habitat for Humanity in the Ninth Ward, and somebody mentioned to me that they do the bus tours because there was a huge bus going through. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, why do you want to see a bus tour of the Ninth Ward? People love to come and pay to see your pain. They love to come and pay to see your pain, whether you want them to or not. And in my head, I'd be like, that's fucked up, because I don't know how that benefits any of the people in those neighborhoods. The Ninth Ward still needs a lot of shit. They might have a grocery store, but it's still scarce. It's still not like how it was before Katrina. I mean, honestly, a lot of places aren't high. The city don't even feel how it was before Katrina. I honestly feel like the more tourists come to our city, the less of a hidden gem it is, and the more commercialized they make the culture, and the lamer it gets to me, to be honest. Like, I was so glad I had to go to an Indian chief's funeral, and I had to shoot it, but my family was there too. And it was like one of the first times I got a chance to be in my culture without feeling like an observer. Because even though I had the camera with my family being right there, when they started singing Indian Red, which is a song they sing whenever an Indian chief dies, they sang it at my grandfather's funeral. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a song we all kind of know. And when I started to singing and shit, just feeling like I was a part of my culture again instead of being a spectator. Because like when you're in the news, it make you feel like you're not in it, you just watching it. And I don't like that feeling, because then I'm always looking at it through the eyes of come and visit New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying don't come. But at the same time, sometimes it takes all the majesty out of it for the people that's from here, because we got to get in where we fit in with all of the fucking people that's coming in from all over the world. You know what I mean? And when you have a small city, that shit is aggravating sometimes, y'all. But I did feel some type of way about them doing bus tours through the Ninth Ward so you could see how fucked up it was. You know what I mean? Like, that's a little wrong to me. So I understand how Nova felt about that. I just had to bring that shit up in my life. So y'all know Darla has been spending a lot of time at the house with Ralph Angel and Blue. And she was giving him a bath, and he was playing with that doll. And then the next time we see Blue, he's crying, flipping out, throwing his toys all over the ground, trying to find his Barbie doll. Y'all know the little boy plays with a little Barbie doll named Kenya. And Darla always felt like he needed that doll when she wasn't a good mother. And now she's there and she is a good mother. So she decided that she was going to take it upon herself to throw the doll away. And Ralph Angel was like, I don't know why she felt the need to do that shit. He was pissed off. So he went into the garbage and started looking for that doll, okay? Then the cops roll up. Boop, 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 this is private property. What are you doing out here? And we all like, seriously? Seriously? Let me tell y'all something. Ain't nobody rolling up on nobody, dumpster diving, like, boop, 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 what's going on back there? What's going on back there, nigger? Like, it does not go down like that. Nobody is about to pull up on you for going through the trash, okay? Actually, once it's in the trash, it's fair game. Nobody is doing that, but whatever. Anyway, so, sorry, real moment. One of the cops, the black cop, knew Ralph Angel. So they just having a conversation about, you know, back in the day when they was in high school, and the cop, Antoine, thanks Ralph for always being there for him and having his back in school. And he starts to talk about how Ralph Angel starts to talk about how he really wants his son to be free. And that's why he did not want to take the doll away from him, because he wants him to feel free. He wants him to feel like whatever he wants to do is fine, even if that's playing with a fucking doll. He wants him to be whatever he want to be. And that's when we kind of get into the story of how Antoine was a girl, okay? Antonia, okay? Bitch, okay? That was Antonia first, bitch, okay? And it's so funny because there is an NOPD cop that's like a gay chick, and she hella, you know, stud with a fade and everything. So when I saw, you know, this character, it made me think about her. And she always be at all the scenes, we always see her. Anyway, y'all in my life, like, this shit will end up having me talking about my life because it's here. But anyway, so Ralph Angel is, you know, basically talking to her, and she's like, thank you, man. She was like, you was there for me when I didn't even know who I was. And the best thing is that she was there for me when I did know who I was. So she was a, you know, a woman first and then became a man. And you really couldn't tell, but then when you look, you was like, I can see it. I can see it. So Darla tries to get another doll all dirtied up to give to Blue after she talks to Ralph Angel, and he says that that doll ain't got nothing to do with her. It's not about her mothering skills. It's about him. So she tries to get another doll. And meantime of getting that doll all dirty and rubbing it on the ground and shit, Charlie calls and offers her the job as her assistant. And I'm like, thank you, bitch. That's what we needed you to do from jump. Okay, trying to push us off on somebody else when you about to open a new business. Bitch, you need employees. Hire her. Okay, thank you. I felt like that the whole time. I was like, if they don't hire this girl, okay, she been sober, y'all better hire this girl. And how Micah hanging with his dad really helped him was that Charlie, like I said, Charlie was trying to make her apartment home. And so she's painting. And she's painting the wall, and Micah walks in and he starts to paint with her. And she says, you know, I was thinking about going to, you know, see a movie in the city later. You want to come? And he was like, yeah, I would love that. And it was like the first time he seemed light again. And it was also the first time that she seemed happy again. Like, for real, for real. So it was just a moment that solidified what Nova said about how after she did her little ritual, it would feel like home again in the mill where they now live. Which I thought was kind of cool, living in the mill. But anyway, y'all, that was basically everything that happened on Queen Sugar with last episode. And, well, y'all, this whole, I'm saying last episode, but y'all know what I mean, week before last Wednesday. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
On my mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good.